It is underpopulated because of ignorance. And unless a few champions stand up and make noise that we are losing an opportunity to increase yields and to increase income. And clearly, the mandate is in our face. If we are losing 30 to 40%, and if we could just reduce that by half, clearly we would be able to increase the income of farmers by 25%.
Pests and diseases can devastate a farmer's output once it has been harvested and is stored for sale or consumption. Post-harvest losses is a complex problem, and its scale varies for different crops, practices, climatic conditions, and country economics. Storage losses account for the maximum fraction of all post-harvest losses for cereals in developing countries and negatively affect the farmers' livelihoods.
Markets matter. Unless farmers can get better markets and better income, they will have little incentive to worry about post-harvest losses. The second thing that we are addressing in that is aggregation. Once you aggregate the farmers, you are better able to share knowledge, to improve their capacity to understand, and to meet the market demands. The third one is on financing. We need innovative mechanisms of making sure farmers access finance, but not just the farmers, also the manufacturers of the technology that we are pushing, they need to have. So that's the third one. But the fourth one is really the technology itself. We want to up the game. We can't be piloting. This should be the way of business for every farmer. You produce, you store so that you reduce your losses. You can't just produce and leave it to chance. And then finally, the big elephant in the room is knowledge and policy.
Most of the harvested grains are stored in the traditional storage structures, which are inadequate to avoid the insect infestation and mold growth during storage and lead to a high amount of losses. Technology interventions and improved storage structures can play a critical role in reducing post-harvest losses and increasing farmers' revenues.
We see that, and we have learned that any practice that reduces the number of produce handling steps usually helps minimize loss. So really the issue of addressing this is bringing actually processing and market closer. So those steps actually are like field packing, selection, sorting, trimming, and packaging of produce at the same time of harvest, and all of that, and the better handling of those steps in preparation for market is very key. Mobile field packing stations with adequate shading are used for those fruits, such as grapes and strawberries, and vegetables, such as broccoli, cauliflower, and green beans, that do not require washing as part of their preparation for marketing, because there is a practice of washing that actually is not actually necessary, but it is really more looking at how we can handle that. The worker hygiene also and sanitation practices during production and harvest is also very critical in minimizing the potential for microbial contamination of the fresh produce, which actually can affect the produce going during its taking to the market. The organization, training, supervision, and motivation of the harvesting crew to achieve maximum efficiency while maintaining effective quality control.
Using better agricultural practices and adequate storage technologies can significantly reduce the losses and help in strengthening food security and poverty alleviation in increasing returns of smallholder farmers.
Meeting the food demand of a rapidly growing global population is emerging as a big challenge to mankind. The population is expected to grow to over 9 billion people by the year 2050, and about 70% extra food production will be required to feed them. Most of this population rise is expected to be attributed to developing countries, several of which are already facing issues of hunger and food insecurity. The time to solve the problem is now for the sake of the future generation. That's our program for the week. Thank you for watching. Our inbox, earthfile@channelstv.com, is available for your comments and questions. From me, Ayola Kasim, and the crew here in Lagos, it's bye for now.